Peter Smith here with Awaken with Peter. So, you are light. Light is spirit. That's all there ever is. That's all that's ever been. But there are appearances of spirit that reflect in multiplicity of dimensions that appear to be many things, including this body and identity that feels like self. That is still a construct of light. But because it's so distant from the sense of connection to spirit, you'll feel like you're not spirit. You'll feel like you're more an animal or more human or more disconnected. So the life here we find is the evolution towards the light, the growth into the light. If you don't claim your light, your wound claims you. In fact, it has to begin that way. You have to begin from a imprint, a program, an impression of consciousness that you reflect back into life of that same program. It's like a parrot. We respond in like. That's why children become like their parents. That's why one egg doubles into two and then into four. Everything doubles itself. It clones itself. It replicates itself. We do that until we find the truth of who we are, which is unique, which is light. It's not a pattern of consequence of the same thing occurring again and again. Repeating the same pattern of behavior and thought and feelings and circumstances. That means there's a wound within that's afraid of letting go of an identity that is connected to that wound. To go beyond that, to claim who you truly are as love itself instead of protecting yourself from feeling more injury, more pain, more suffering, requires letting go. Well, it first requires entering into the sense of self that is the awareness of pain and suffering and identity around it. Once you get in contact with that, there's a process to make sense of who you are, to go through it, to find out who you truly are instead of who you've identified yourself as the wound, because you are not the wound, even though it can claim you. Truly speaking, the wound never existed, but you can continue to give it life, and that's a pattern. And that can be stuck as yourself, as your system, as your family, as your work environment, as your whole matrix of self-understanding and life, that it will keep recirculating and recirculating until you make a break through it. And that break is you asking and the universe responding through that mutual alignment. And when you say yes there, you can become your light, because it's always there, but it's hidden in plain sight. When you can let go of who you think you are and embrace a greater sense, you'll find who you are as the truth of light itself and the truth of love. And it will feel like connection because you have no more resistance in the way of it, you see.